No, I know I'm kind of throwing it all around across the board, but let's take Gaza, for example. A lot of the people that participated in October 7 were the people that were actually allowed to come to Israel and work and were receiving medical treatment. And they used this chance to come and build friendships with the Jews and write notes where they're living, who's having a gun, who is not, which families, which houses, which one should they kill, which one should they kidnap. And then on October 7, it came out. They betrayed the people, the Otef Gaza, which were the people that loved them the most. What do you think of that happening?
It's supremacy is what it is. These people, I mean, we're seeing it right now. It's like the videos I sent you right before we started this one. So
crazy video.
You see how the HTS captures of the Druze are slapping them in the face. And they did this last month with the Alawites as well, that they were capturing. They were calling them dogs. They were making them crawl on the floor. They see Druze and Jews and Alawites and every ethnic minority in the Middle East as below them. Because Islamism, not Islam, but Islamism is a supremacist movement. The whole idea of it is to be above the person who are below. That is the whole concept of the jizya tax, of being a dhimmi, which both Druze and Jews fall into that category together. And I think going off of what Khalifa said, we have to, as Jew, and I come here as a Jew, every single Jew who may be watching this, who will watch it later, needs to understand this one thing. There's a man who typed in a comment here, Tal Mizrahi, who wrote, "We must save every single one of the Druze. A single drop of Druze blood is akin to a Jewish blood. We must save the Druze." I could not agree with that more. We have right now, as Jewish people, and as all of Israel, an opportunity to show the Druze people, especially the Druze people living in the diaspora outside of Israel, we have an opportunity right now to show them that we mean business, that we are family, that this bond that we have that goes back thousands of years from the prophet Jethro and Moses, and being one group of people that we maybe seemed a little bit different, but we are one family. We have an opportunity right now to prove to the Druze people living outside of Israel that we are family. And I think we need to take every single opportunity to show them right now, whether that be with military support, with weapons, that we stand against a supremacist movement that's coming to oppress them. We know that if HTS, we know that if Jolani has his way in Syria, just like Khalifa said, he doesn't need an excuse. He's not looking for an excuse to attack the Alawites or the Druze. He can do it right now. That's the reason why they're circling them. That's why the reason why they're cutting them off from food, from weaponry, because the idea is genocide. It's a genocidal movement. It's not a movement of trying to preserve an ethnic minority of Druze in the new Syria. They are looking to ethnically cleanse. If they could have their way would be, you guys either pay your tax, you're the slave or slave adjacent in the modern society, or dead. The same way they see the Jewish people who are the dogs. It's the same exact manner.
Well, why is it not bothering enough people in America that seems to be so obsessed with anti-slavery, anti-racism, all these stuff, and then these things are happening so often in the Middle East by the Muslims, but you hear nothing. You're hearing right now. I haven't heard anything from the students talking about all eyes on the Druze, on Syria. Why is that? Why are they ignoring that?
I mean,
even the ones in Israel, by the way.
It's hypocrisy at its finest. Me and you remember when we went up to Majd al-Shams, we were there 48 hours after the rockets fell on the kids. Where was the Instagram? Where was the movement? Where was anybody saying anything about these precious kids that were slaughtered? I didn't see anything. And even more so, and I'm disappointed in everyone, that news is like far gone. It's like nobody talks about it anymore. It's like it never happened anymore. But I think about when we were up there and we were grieving with the families, is there was no college students. There was not a single protest on Columbia University or in Harvard for these people. And there's not going to be one right now unless we instigate it. It's our job to go ahead and push this every single day forward. We got to make sure people know what's going on.
Yeah, man. I've seen the video that you sent me just before the show here.
It's terrible.
It's horrific.
It's horrific, man.
They're grabbing them. It's as if they're there not only to kill, but also to humiliate before they kill. They're grabbing the Druze by the mustache, and they're shaving their mustache, which reminded me of some of the images that we saw in the Holocaust when Nazi Germany, when they grabbed the Jews and they were shaving their beards to humiliate them before executing them. And that's what they were doing there with the Druze. And the same kind of, it was actually making me very angry. I was watching this and I was getting very upset, and I was just thinking, man, I just wish that they will face the IDF, these cowards, that they'll face someone that will come and really humble them and put them in their place. They're just young perverts going around and just killing innocent people. It's disgusting. They have Turkey behind them. They had a group of powerful organization that is supporting them and that is trying to take over Syria, and they're not allies of Israel. I don't know, anyone here ever been to Turkey? Tally, you've never been to Turkey. You've been like half across the world.
My grandma was born there, and they were, they left because of how anti-Semitic they got, and I never had a desire to go back. I was always like, I know how hateful they are of ethnic minorities, of any person who's not Islamist, and I just decided to never go back.
Wow, so your grandmother had to flee Turkey because of anti-Semitism.
My grandma and my grandpa. My grandpa was born in Tbilisi in Georgia, and escaped to Syria, was held hostage in Syria for like 2 months, then escaped to Turkey, and then they both left to Israel because of how racist they were against the Jews.
And then they call you a colonizer.
Somehow, yeah. But I see, I really resonate with what you guys are saying about this. I almost feel, look, it's also easier for me to say because I didn't serve in the army, so I don't really know exactly the stakes that it takes, but everybody in my family served in the army. I live amongst soldiers at all points. I understand what it is. I really think this mindset of these are Druze and we are Jews, and you should push more Druze people to contribute to the army right now to fight for this. This is such a backwards way of thinking. The Druze are family. It's not if we're in this fight together. I mean, how many Druze people went up on reserves and we're in special forces on October 7th, and it wasn't like a question of should I, because the Jews got attacked on October 7th. It was, I'm fighting now because this is my country, this is my land. And this is the mindset, even if it requires us to reclaim more land in Syria and eat deeper into Syrian territory, we should make that step, because here the final conclusion is these people in Syria, the Islamists who are trying to take over and to kill Druze people, they're not looking at it from a rational perspective. It's not like a one step. We're gonna just kill the people from this village, and then this village are gonna survive. If they can kill everybody, they will kill everybody. If they get the opportunity, and we've seen that time and time again. The clock is ticking. It's on the clock right now. And the IDF has an opportunity right now, I really believe so, to prove our worth to the Druze community, because God knows the last 3-4 years I've dived deep into the Druze ethnicity and religion, and I've tried to learn so much about it. Mansour, and you've taught me so much as well. And I've learned how much the Israeli government has wronged the Druze people in the past. Obviously we have an incredible relationship, but we've done as the Israeli government, I'm not part of the Israeli government, but the Israeli government has done a lot of wrongs, a lot of things that sort of poke at the Druze people. And this is one of those situations right now where I feel like we can't play this. We can't play a game of hesitation. We can't hesitate on the idea. Yes, opportunity right now to make a point, rain hellfire. We do not owe the people of Syria anything. I apologize. We don't owe anybody in Syria anything. I keep bringing this up with Gaza. You can maybe make a claim we owe these people something. They may be incorporated to our state in the future. If these monsters in Syria can mismanage their land over and over and over again, and vote this dictator in, and vote this dictator in, and support this dictator, and now have an ISIS member be the head of their country, if they keep mismanaging their land, it is not the responsibility of the Jews, nor the Christians, nor the Arabs in Israel, nor the Druze to take responsibility for their missteps. Our responsibility is to our people only, and the Druze have stood by us like this. And I know that the relationship has not been perfect between the Syrian Druze and the Israelis. I know that it hasn't been perfect, but it is our opportunity right now to mend this bridge. There's an opportunity here, and I really think we need to take it.
What do you think about Israel now having troops inside of Syria and staying there? Do you think Israel should stay there? Do you think Israel should give that back?
No, we should stay there. I think if Islamists, can I curse?
Yeah, you always curse. I'm not going to stop you now.
If Islamists fuck up with their land, if they fuck up managing their land and they misstep and they make a mistake, We're 100 years in from British colonization. We're 100 years in from French colonization, Italian colonization, whoever the hell colonized here before. We're 100 years after. If you keep mismanaging your land over and over again and you use it to attack the one and only self-identified Jewish state that is trying, and I'm not saying it's doing a perfect job, but trying to protect its minorities, we, in my opinion, unapologetically, we're going to take this and we keep it now. We keep it now. You don't get to have it back. I mean, we're a tiny country who's threatened by every possible. You see today, they set the whole country on fire. We can see how easy it is to see, just to see how under threat we actually are. And it's unfortunately, as Israelis, we only realize it when we get the slap in the face.
I was thinking about it today. I wonder if that's connected. It's the Independence Day. It was just a Druze holiday.
It is.
And then Israel is burning on fire. Everybody's in Israel right now. And they actually found, I just saw a snippet in the media, they found one of the terrorists that went and lit this fire.
Yep.
Surprise, surprise, a Muslim. And now in the same time, they're going around very organized, trying to genocide the Druze, which is the allies of Israel. So, it makes you think if that is somehow connected. Is that a coincidence, or did it really come as a coordinated attack?
What you're saying, you said it beautifully, but I need to emphasize about these monsters, because, we see human figures, but by no means they are no humans. I mean the jihadists. They live in a whole different sphere of moral, I don't know, with no moral dignity or any scale at all. Let's take this jihad thing. They declare jihad against Druze today. If I say, Mansour, that I can say a secret word and now in a second you become like a monstrous killer, can I say any word to you that will make you go kill your neighbor or someone you never met with and, do the atrocities that they do?
Never. I don't want to kill anyone.
You can't, and people need to understand this thing, this idea that now I said the magic word, it's jihad, and now I'm allowed to behead small children. And I've seen videos of them eating human flesh, like trying to say, yeah, I'm a man, I eat your liver, I eat your lungs. These are monsters, and if we deal with them as human beings, knowing like we need to respect their beliefs. So I don't want to curse, but I already said it in my heart. What I think about their beliefs and what God they serve and what purpose they are promoting. And this is nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with anything related to decent human behavior.